Hey guys, welcome to second
Yo,
episode of J&E Comic Cast. I'm here, Josiah, with
Emilio.
real quick before we get into this episode. Normally, we're usually together, chilling on the couch or talking in person together, but we had a little change of plans. A little thing popped up, and we're just doing today's episode over Zoom. Um, but we're trying to bring you our weekly scheduled Sunday at 6 p.m. Podcast over Spotify and over YouTube. Other programs, it takes a little bit longer for the upload for the program that we're using, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and stuff. It takes a little bit longer to get those out and published on those platforms. But on Spotify and YouTube, it will be every Sunday at 6 p.m. on normal scheduled podcasts.
And if there's any services that you guys want us to bring our podcast to, just go ahead and leave a comment in the YouTube video. I know some people use different services for podcasts, and we want to go ahead and try to make it comfortable for you, so that whether you're on the drive home from work, or you're just laying on the couch, or you're on the toilet, and listen to your podcast, we can reach you guys. So on top of that, if you guys have any suggestions, any comments that you guys like to make, or even if you guys want to drop knowledge on us, we love comics and we love everything around them, but we're not, nobody has all the knowledge. So if you guys ever just want to share some information with us, make sure to reach out to us on our social media platforms. Obviously, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and your feelings on what we're doing. And we love to communicate with you guys.
100% agree. Like again, like you can see behind me, we had both mic stands set up, ready to go. But again, something came up, and we were unable to meet up in person. But me and him are very close. We talk on a regular basis,
Yeah.
daily, and we always are looking for ways to improve our podcast to make it a better experience for you guys and something enjoyable for us. Like we enjoy talking about on a regular basis as well, even over on the phone and through text. We're talking about comic books and different things. So we're just
Video
we're just
games, everything,
we're just bringing that
everything.
conversation to life with these podcasts. Um,
And sharing
so
it with
that
you, and having you guys, kind of jump into a little bit of our world.
Yeah. Future plans, maybe we have someone else on the call over Zoom, um, and have a little bit more insiders information with subscribers and stuff. But for now, it's gonna be between me and him. Um, so let's get into this podcast. First thing I would love to talk about is we got during an NBA game a new trailer of the Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
It's gonna be like a little bit of a tongue twister, isn't it?
A little bit, a
It's
little
gonna, that
bit.
ain't, we're gonna keep messing up until I keep doing the same thing.
Well, we got that new trailer. I cannot wait for that movie. That second trailer hit differently. That's all I can say. It
It's
was a
what's
banger.
crazy. I agree with you. It was one of the movies that I was really excited for, as crazy as it is to sound. Just because I personally don't know a lot about the character. But the second trailer, seeing the seeing some of the effects and the fighting and the stuff in action, and then we got a little cameo from Abomination from I think it was Incredible Hulk movie, the second one that came out. Um, not the first one. I didn't watch the second one either, I'll be honest. But seeing that too, seeing how they're kind of tying it into its earlier Marvel movies, it's just kind of like, oh, whoa, okay, okay, you guys had my interest before. Now you guys got my attention. So
I'm just looking forward to, because I know right now Marvel signed a contract with Sony for a 6 year plan with using Spider-Man as as a character in the
oh, really? six
MCU.
years?
This that was signed this year, starting in 2022. All the all the Spider-Man movies, TV shows are gonna be added to Disney Plus until 2026, I think they said, or 2027. So I'm just curious because we know that Shang-Chi is operating in New York. We saw from Spider-Man Homecoming one of the bystanders that was in Spider-Man Homecoming on the train that Shang-Chi is fighting on. So are they gonna tie Shang-Chi
Oh
with
wow, I
a
didn't catch that either.
Spider-Man?
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
That's
like
insane.
are they gonna add Shang-Chi into a Spider-Man movie? And we know Doctor Strange is coming out with Spider-Man No Way Home and the multiverse because we saw Woon I I
Wrong. I think it is wrong.
Wong uh fighting Abomination in the final arena battle. So like are all these movies gonna lead up into a big another phase 5 multiverse madness or multiverse
Like
situation
Marvel
or
team up.
just another team up? Um,
That would be really cool. I think that one of the things whenever I hear Ten Rings, I think of the Mandarin. Like the classic Iron Man villain. So I I know that like they name dropped the Mandarin and it's in Iron Man 3 and a lot of people weren't and Ten Rings and a lot of people weren't really happy with how that kind of played out. So I wonder if maybe Marvel kind of saw that and was like, you know what? We need to kind of take care of fix the situation in a certain way and maybe do the Mandarin the right way, instead of having they ended like this big baddie ended up being an actor. So I wonder if they're kind of setting that up, and since Iron Man isn't really in the MCU right now, I know that there's talks of having I think uh Ironheart, I think is the character's name.
yeah,
Um, so I wonder if maybe they're setting up the Mandarin for Ironheart, for Ironheart, or maybe if they're setting it up, the Mandarin to fight Peter Parker. I think that'd be really interesting to see too, how they take a classic Iron Man villain and because Iron Man's no longer there, have him go against Iron Man's protege, which is Peter Parker in the MCU.
yeah. I can also see what's happening with what's coming out as well. We have Miss Marvel, I think TV show or movie coming out, supposedly supposed to be coming out, and we also have a
Oh, that's
Hawkeye
yeah.
TV show supposedly coming out it's Clint Barton's daughter is supposed to be playing one of the Hawkeye characters as an older Hawkeye. So maybe they're gonna make like a young cast, like a young, like the next generation of heroes. Like maybe we'll get Miss Marvel teaming up with Spider-Man, like a new Avengers, but Spider-Man with Miss Marvel, with Shang-Chi, with Hawkeye's daughter, um, and it's just a big, huge team up in the process that they're trying to make and go for. So
You know, you mentioned that, and I remember too that that's one of the things that maybe they were kind of hinting at also in WandaVision, because in WandaVision, her if you haven't watched WandaVision at this point, um, it's kind of like spoiler, but in WandaVision, her two kids have powers. I can't, I'm having a brain fart in regards to their names, but I think in the comics, his name one of her kids is Wiccan, and he kind of has power similar to his mom, and then the other one is has I think it's Speedster. He has powers. Or I couldn't say that powers similar to Pietro. So it'd be interesting, obviously if you watch the end of WandaVision, you know that they kind of at the end of WandaVision kind of disappears with the rest of the town. But another big spoiler. But if they somehow bring it back in this multiverse of madness, which we know that in the next Doctor Strange movie, which we know that WandaVision is going to be in there, that's another way to be they could be setting up this like young Avengers, I guess, initiative, team, I guess, MCU's version of the Teen Titans, which I'm a big fan of. So, and I know
hundred
you are
percent, I
too,
am too.
Jay.
Yep. Um, but that being said, about the multiverse, we have again Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Madness coming, and we saw in Loki episode 1 or 2 when they mentioned something about the multiverse and how they were explaining it and stuff. So I think a multiverse is bound to happen. A lot of hints are with this new Spider-Man movie that we're gonna get Andrew Garfield. We're gonna get Tobey Maguire supposedly coming out into the Spider-Man No Way Home. My thing is,
Alfred Molina is confirmed too as Doc Ock, and everybody knows that he was
yeah,
Doc Ock in the second
Jamie
Spider-Man with
Foxx
Tobey
as
Maguire.
Electro.
Yeah, he was an amazing Spider-Man too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
With Andrew Garfield.
he was
Yeah,
in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, with Andrew
yeah,
Garfield. I know they're trying to. I know it's confirmation of the Sinister Six. I know that, but the real question is there gonna be a lead up where Andrew Garfield makes a appearance or Tobey Maguire makes an appearance? Me personally, I think it would be a cool idea, but I kind of enjoy like having Tom Holland as a like the only Spider-Man in movies. He's one. I think he's the best Spider-Man in my opinion. Again, my opinion. Don't put any hate comments if you think Toby or Andrew is better. But
yeah, yeah. Because you already know where I'm going. Just
yeah, I already know because you're more of a Toby Maguire fan, aren't you?
listen.
Because
I
that was
grew
your
up with him.
generation.
I think that like the scene where he stopped the train in Spider-Man 2 is probably like one of my all-time favorite superhero scenes of all time. And I remember being like, and I'm really kind of aging myself here, being like 10 or 11 and watching that play out and just my jaw dropping. You know what I mean? That was like to me like the craziest thing, you know. So so yeah, so Toby, I'm a big Toby fan. So when I heard obviously that I mean I'm a big Spider-Man fan in general. I know Jay is like a super Spider-Man fan, but when I knew that he was gonna be in the next Spider-Man movie, my interest went through the roof. So, but I guess back to like, 'cause I talk about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man forever. But back to like touch upon what you were saying about the I guess the multiverse and stuff like that. I agree with you. I think it would have been interesting just to kind of see like a Spider-Man story, but I think too that a lot of people really liked um how man, I don't want to have these brain farts today. How the animated Spider-Man movie Into the Spider-Verse played out. I thought it was really interesting with all the different. I know a lot of people, myself included, I love that movie. I think I watched it
100%.
in theater the first weekend it came out.
Same.
Um, we loved how I loved how every Spider-Man brought his own spin to saving people, to saving the city, and I think that a lot of people really kind of fed off of that. Maybe could identify with each different Spider-Man in their own special way. So I don't think it's a bad thing that they're kind of feeding off of that and kind of playing to that into the Spider Verse stuff. So I think either way, the next Spider movie is going to be absolutely crazy. I know that there were rumors that we were supposed to have a trailer sometime this month. It hasn't happened, but the movie's coming out in December. So I mean, at some point they got to do more than just tease us with a title card. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping the trailer comes out sooner than later, and we get a real first peek, and we really get to know what's going on with
Yeah.
the movie.
I have a feeling like the trailer's gonna drop either A after the Loki show finishes or during Black Widow. There's gonna be like a little teaser at the end of the Black Widow movie, like Marvel usually does after their movies. They put a little teaser for what's to come. And we got the
Oh,
Black
I
Widow
didn't even think of that.
movie dropping in July 9th, and gonna be able to be streamed over Disney Plus, $30 for premium access. Um,
I'm in there. I'm in there with that too.
so I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they play. They approach Taskmaster. He was one of my favorite villains in for Captain America. So I'm just curious to see how they approach him in the movie and stuff. It is a little. It kind of does suck because they killed off Black Widow in Endgame, and now they're making a movie about her. And I know that a lot of
That didn't
people,
make sense to me.
yeah, a lot of people were giving them like crap about it and stuff by making finally an origin story for her. But you never know. Like, she, there might be a way to get her back, or Marvel always gives us what we want. So their CGI has been amazing. Their actors they chose for to play their roles has been on point. So we'll see what's to come out of Marvel universe. Um,
We gotta trust Kevin Feige's big brain plan. He
yeah,
hasn't let us down yet.
this is true. This is true. So now switching over to DC, we just had a release of the new Superman and Lois episode, and when I tell you, If you haven't seen that
Yo,
TV series yet, go
yo,
watch it. CW app has it for free. One
you're
of my
sleeping
favorite
big
TV
time.
series. And like Superman never been one of my favorite characters. I was never against Superman. I just didn't like the fact that like he was so powerful and like I Superman was never a big fan of for me. But after watching this series, I grown to enjoy Superman and appreciate him more. And then that final episode, what do you think is gonna happen next, Emilio?
Oh man, there's so many ways that it could go. I think that the episode really kind of threw me for a loop at the beginning because I at first thought that it was just gonna be kind of like a filler episode. I thought that we had like a big action sequence. We kind of left like ended last episode on the cliffhanger. I think the season one runs for 15 episodes, and I think this was episode 11 or 12 that we just saw. So I thought they were already done. I thought they were kind of like, just trying to find a way at this point to kind of just stretch it out. So to make so I didn't expect this episode to be as big as it was, like to as far as the story was concerned. So when it started off the way that it did with us kind of getting Superman's background story, I was like, oh man, here we go, another, and it wasn't badly done. So it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I wasn't enjoying it, but I think everybody has seen, like, if you're a comic fan, I think you've seen Superman's story play out in some way, shape, form. You know what I mean? Like 1,000 times. So when the episode kind of started off like that, I was like, okay, here we go. This is more of a fill episode. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy it. And I think I was doing something on my phone in the meantime while watching it. And then when we started seeing, I think for me, the episode started making twists when we started seeing little flashes of a shadowy figure. You know what I mean? And some of the stuff. And I was like, oh, this is more than just him maybe just reminiscing about stuff for us getting a background. And so when the episode ended the way that it ended, and it's kind of spoilers, you know, with Superman pretty much, you know, eyes red, you know what I mean, with his heat vision ready to kind of turn against the world, like John Irons thought he was gonna do. I was like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? Like his the future that he tried to stop is here. So I personally have. I know like it took like a really long roundabout way to get to your answer, but I personally have. I'm excited. I have no idea, where they're gonna go. We know that the military has kryptonite weapons. There's a chance that he destroyed them because he told that he was gonna do it after Superman almost died to those kryptonite weapons. John Irons has been preparing for this for his entire life. Not for his entire life, but since he dealt with what happened to his future, he's been preparing to stop Superman from, what I mean, in this timeline. So I think we're gonna see the big steel reveal. You know what I mean? I personally think that at some point in the next 3 episodes, and I've been telling you this, Jay, for a while, but I think that we are going to see, and we're gonna come and find out that Jonathan has powers as well. So I think that we're in for really big surprises. I think we're gonna see Steel in his full suit, which is I think is gonna be amazing. I think we're gonna see a united fight between the military and him, and then the two Kent kids, Jonathan and I can't think of his brother's name. Help me out here. Help me out here.
Jordan.
Jordan. Yes. I don't know why I want to say Joe. So, because I was thinking Jor-El, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but Jonathan and Jordan, I think Jordan's gonna find. I think we're gonna see Jordan do some really cool things. But I think the show has been hinting at little by little that Jonathan has powers and he just might be a late bloomer. So I think we're gonna get to see that. The other thing I want to touch upon before I switch it over to you, Jay, but is, man, how messed up of it was, how messed up of Morgan Edge was it for him to destroy Superman's dad's crystal and cut off that connection to him? I thought that was such a, like, a brutal, you know what I mean, like heart crushing, wrenching thing that he did to Superman, where he cut off his only connection to his home world, and the only parent that he had left, and he pretty much he killed him. So again, in a way, so he has at this point no connection to any of his parents, no connection to his planet other than his bloodline, his space capsule, and his children who are part Kryptonian as well.
Yeah, so going back to like what you said when the first episode when that episode was leading up to what it did, I watched it once by myself and again the same day with my parents. And both my
Dude, I don't
parents
blame
was
you.
like, "Now they're giving us his beginning story. Like we
Yeah.
don't care. Like we already know his beginning story, how it all led up and stuff like." And I was like, "Yeah, they're giving you now a beginning story. Sure." And then when it got to that scene, my both of my parents' jaw dropped. And the only thing that I can think of at the ending of that episode was four words. Someone call Batman. Because with Superman,
I think that's 3 words loud.
nah, 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 nah. Four words. Someone call Batman.
Yeah, he definitely has a plan for Superman.
Like, but besides the point,
Um,
I I I found it crazy that she calling John John, what is his name, John, oh I forgot
John
his last name,
Irons.
John Irons, yeah, that she called him and stuff. So what I think is gonna end up happening is,
She had no choice.
yeah, I think super, because we saw an episode in that episode um that Superman like was gonna, when came back to Smallville, that he was gonna go find Lana and like tell her like he loves her and whatever and stuff. We got to see a little part of that, and then he saw that she was with her husband in that episode. So I have a feeling that a little jealousy of Superman is gonna come out and maybe attack Lana and her family, and then we're gonna see, like, I think it's gonna come out that he is Superman. Like she's gonna find out in the season that he was Superman, that Clark was Superman, that the daughter's gonna find out that Jordan has powers. I don't think Jonathan's gonna show powers this season. Maybe the next season, but I don't think this season. I think this season they're gonna just focus more on Jordan and his powers playing out.
I don't know what happened. I think you cut out a little bit. Can you hear me
Oh
okay?
yeah, yeah, we're good. Um that Jordan and what I was saying was Jordan. I don't think Jonathan's gonna show that he has powers. I think they're gonna focus more with Jordan and his powers this season. Maybe the next season Jonathan will come out with powers. Like the ending of season one, he was probably gonna like shoot some lasers out of his eyes or something, that we see that he
That would
has
be cool.
powers for season two. Um, but I think they're gonna mainly focus on season one with Jordan and his powers, and I think it's eventually gonna come out that Clark, in only in Smallville, like a few friends are gonna see that Clark was Superman, and that Jordan has powers between like Lena and her family and her family with them, because I think they're gonna need Lana's help to stop Superman, because I think they're gonna need Lois, Lena, his kids, to get to his human side, his humanity that he has, if he has any left in him. Because that's the
I,
only way I think they will get to him. Because unless they're gonna have to kill him with kryptonite, but I don't think that's how it's
I'm
gonna
talking
lead
about,
up.
yeah.
And we saw in
Yeah.
one of the episodes that what's it called, Superman's father-in-law made protocol 7311. um was it, yeah, I think it was 7311, where or 4311, which is the dog tags that John Irons gave him. Was that the same weapon vault that Superman got hit with kryptonite?
I think so. I think that's what they were preparing the I think that's what they were preparing the lab that they're preparing the kryptonite weapons at. I think the other thing I wanted to mention too is I do like that when you said that. I think that would be like the really good way to play out Jonathan's powers. Have it kind of come at like maybe like episode 15, the last episode, where we start seeing some of his abilities maybe start to kind of start to manifest themselves. but I think that even if they don't, I think that it's still, it doesn't affect the story in any way, because I think that in a way, if he doesn't, the show is kind of preparing like his kids at some point, for Jordan to assume Superman's mantle, and then for Jonathan to assume kind of like this um, more weaponized version of Lois Lane,
Yeah.
where he's kind of like as a human, he's doing everything that he can, kind of like a mixture maybe of Lois and their grandfather, where like
Yeah.
as a human, he's doing everything he can to investigate these stories, and also he's doing everything he can, and then also he could defend himself, so he's not completely vulnerable. But I think that the reason why I think that he's going to manifest powers at some point is two things. The scene where he caught Jordan's punch, um, I think to catch a punch like that from a superpowered individual with enhanced speed and strength takes some sort of enhanced speed and strength. And the other thing too was when Morgan Edge um, sent the like his mind swapped Kryptonians to go take out Lois Lane. Um, I remember there was a scene where they were getting ready to fire the heat ray at them or heat vision at them, and he reacted really fast and he was able to drop Lois, and push or get Lois down to the floor and pretty much save her from getting lasered or burned, you know what I mean, to death. So I think that we're getting really small hints of his abilities. Um, so maybe but maybe they don't go anywhere. Maybe it's just him reacting a
Yeah.
certain way, or just him. You know what I mean? He might end up. It might end up where he is slightly stronger than humans, but not to the point where his brother is. Um, but it gives him a little bit, maybe, a la where he gets to like the point where he's maybe like a Captain America type, person where he's like at the peak of human strength, speed, endurance, and then he surpasses that a little bit versus, Jordan will become full blown,
Kryptonian.
yeah, like full blown Superman. What I was gonna say too, I think, to touch upon, I guess, Superman, Lois, especially at the end, I thought it was interesting too to see kind of Morgan Edge's training, the things that he went to get to where he's at, how his father, and you kind of see like the big parallel, what I mean, with Superman and Jor-El with Morgan and his father. I think it's Tor Ka or something like that, where where his father he got to Earth and he built his fortress, and his father was almost like militant and abusive and training him and preparing him to use his powers and to get to the point where he needed his son to be to pretty much restore Krypton. But like watching that play out, you kind of feel bad a little bit for Morgan Edge because you're like, yo, he just wanted he's alone in the world by himself. He doesn't have any family, and the one shade, you know what I mean, of his father, the only little bit of his father that he has left is pretty much treating him horribly, and
Mm-hmm.
being abusive to him and yelling at him and calling him these things and practically torturing him and putting him through pain when what he needed at that moment was somebody who can teach him and raise him and give him affection. So you kind of see like in a way you kind of see what Superman could have been or turned to if he didn't have the parents that he had and Jor-El wasn't the Kryptonian that Jor-El was. Jor-El wasn't human. Jor-El
Yeah.
wasn't the Kryptonian that Jor-El was, and taught Superman how to deal stuff with in a positive, like like in a positive way. And I think the other thing too, just to throw into, and I think it's left maybe a little bit ambiguous, maybe at least to me. But if I'm correct, I think Morgan Edge hit Superman with the Eradicator device. So it's possible that he transferred his father's consciousness into Superman, and Superman, could have his mind suppressed, and he could actually just be, uh, you know, and that's the reason why he did the things that he did in the future because physically, he's Superman's body, but mentally, he's Morgan Edge's father.
Yeah. Do you, so going back to what you said with Jonathan having powers and stuff, the only thing that doesn't make me believe he does is, remember, Jordan is not full Superman strength yet. He was still saying that he would never be. Joel said that he would never be at Superman's full peak. So and when he caught the fist, he you remember he only has like a little bit of an edge over um humans, a little over edge over humans and stuff. And when he caught the fist, he had to use both hands, and it still broke one of his hands. But if you saw in the catch, it wasn't just one hand catch. He used both hands, gripped his wrist and stuff. So like,
I might have to replay that then because I thought he just kind of caught it with one fist like this, which if
no,
he
he had
did,
to use
then
both
it's
hands. He gripped his wrist and everything for his wrist didn't break or anything. Because I think he knew like if he was gonna catch this fist, that it was gonna hurt. Like he was gonna break something, and if he would have done it with one hand, then like he probably would have been completely done over or something. And then I didn't think of that he transferred his father's conscience into Superman. Um, that being said, I and you remember in the ending of the episode, you saw when Superman told him, "You don't have to do this. There's still good in you." You saw like that piqued Morgan's like surprise. Like, bro, you're going through all this and you still are believing in me. So I have a feeling like
it speaks a
if
lot
if
about who Superman is. You know what I mean? Because you think
he
about
stands
it,
for hope.
like I just mentioned, yeah, he just killed his dad and threatened his children and his wife. You know what I mean? Like Morgan Edge was doing the most, and Superman still said, "Bro, like I know that you and I don't see eye to eye, but this doesn't have to be like this. You know what I mean? We can move on past all the stuff that you've done." But I do agree with you in the sense, and you kind of touched upon it. Like they're in a really bad spot because if you think about it, if his father's consciousness isn't Superman, Morgan Edge has the Eradicator, so they can't get to the Eradicator, and now he has three Kryptonians on his side, and there's a possibility that Lois's father really did get rid of all the kryptonite weapons. So I do think that like what you said was right. I do think that if they're going to take him down with everything that's going on right now, they're going to need all hands on deck. And I could see Lana's family finding out that Clark Kent is Superman, which would be a pretty crazy thing, you know?
I think that would be. I think the only reason why I think they're gonna find out because one, Jordan is now obviously dating Lana's daughter and stuff, and now they're gonna get closer and stuff. So and she's ready. She was already a little suspicious with what was going on with them. Um,
Oh, that's right. She saw the video
she saw the
of Jordan
video,
at the bonfire.
so I think there's gonna be a part where Jordan's gonna have to step up and defend her to whatever comes they throw at them. So like I think Jordan's gonna be like almost protecting everyone because he's the only one that possibly has the best outcome of fighting back if or
Oh,
living
you know what?
in the fighting back because he's the only one with Kryptonian powers at the moment. So
I, I I was gonna say I thought that was a really cool scene too, where Morgan Edge was threatening them, and he went ahead and he tried to use his heat ray vision against them. I
yeah,
completely forgot about that scene, but that was a pretty. But it goes to show you too, like how much like you said, he isn't his father. You know?
yeah. So I think. Do you think Superman is more powerful than Morgan Edge?
No, they've been. I think the one thing that Morgan Edge has might have over him is. Oh no, actually, I think this actually works out towards Superman's favor. Is that Superman as a baby, since he was a baby, was absorbed um the sun's energy. So I think that Superman has had more time to absorb has more time has had more time to absorb that energy, which kind of benefits him. But I think that the one edge that Morgan Edge has, no edge, no pun intended, is that he knows Krypton. So he's had a chance to maybe train a little bit more than him, especially with what his father kind of put him through. So he could be more physically prepared to do the things that needs to be done. And what I wanted to mention too, because I know you mentioned Jorel saying that he about Jordan saying that Jordan didn't wasn't going to be anything like his father was, is that you think about it, he said that Jordan wasn't didn't have any powers at all. So at the beginning, and he ended up being wrong about that. So
Yeah,
he could be wrong about what kind of powers Jordan's going to exhibit.
yeah.
But But they could be setting up Jordan to kind of be like the clone Superman in Young Justice, where he has a lot of the techniques. He doesn't have all the techniques, but he's a very powerful hero in his own right. I think that would be a really thing to
Yeah.
see interesting thing to see in live action. So
I think that's the route they're gonna go. And again, bringing back up the Young Justice scene, we saw one of the scenes where, in the end of season one, where I don't want to give any spoilers to you because I know you're still trying to watch the show,
yeah, don't do
but
that,
we
bro. Don't do
see
that to me.
in one of the scenes where Connor and Superman do fight. Connor is the Superman's clone. They do
Okay.
fight in one of the scenes, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I'm pretty sure if any of the viewers that seen the show knows what I'm talking about, that scene is where I think they're gonna have to play. He's gonna have to play a part like that, where he has to gonna have to step up because he's the only one with the powers that we know of to be able to even have a remote chance of possibly beating Superman or Morgan Edge or this other girl. Which I think what's gonna end up happening is Superman and Morgan Edge are gonna fight John Irons and Lois Lane and the dad and Lana and stuff. The kids are gonna stay back, like Jordan and Jonathan are gonna stay back with Lana's daughter and
Which one her name? I had to look it up because it was bugging me. Her daughter's name is Sarah. I don't know
Sarah.
why
Okay, so
forgot about
Sarah
that.
and
And
Sophie,
then
right?
and then I don't remember what the other daughter's name.
I
And then
think it was Sophie.
I think it might have been Sophie. And then
So
the dad is Kyle. The dad is Kyle.
Kyle, yeah. So I think Kyle,
Yeah.
Lana, Lois Lane, and John Irons, all four are gonna have like some kryptonite weapons fighting Morgan Edge and Superman. And when Morgan Edge sees that, he's gonna send his assistant to go after the kids to use as leverage. And then that's when I think Sarah and Sophie are gonna see that Jordan has powers because he's gonna have to step up and fight another
He's gonna have no
Kryptonian,
choice.
and he's gonna have
So
no choice. So that's what I think it's gonna lead up to, and then once they see that he has powers and stuff, then they're gonna go and help fight Superman and Morgan Edge.
let me ask you a question. Do you think we're gonna see any deaths in the finale of season one, episode 15? And who do you think dies and for what reasons?
I think John Irons gonna die, and I think he's gonna die saving Lois Lane, and then they're gonna take as like, remember John Irons has a daughter. I don't know how old she is though, but I think they're gonna like take Lois Lane's gonna feel bad and take in the daughter, and pretty much she's gonna live in this world. I think they're world one or something like it, because they brought up like the multi the multiple Earths and stuff. Like he's from a different Earth and stuff. So I think she's gonna start living with Lois Lane and Superman. But I think John Irons is gonna die in season 1 and 15, and I think he's gonna die by. I don't even think Superman's gonna kill him. I think he's gonna save Superman, but Morgan Edge is gonna kill him.
Okay. I can see that happening. I think that I think that he's kind of and I could be wrong about this, but I feel like he kind of has paid his dues. So I think that I don't think he dies. I
Okay.
do think that Morgan Edge dies
Okay.
doing the right thing. Um, I think that the his assistant dies doing the wrong thing, and I think that John Irons gets an opportunity to go back to his future and then like reestablish the symbol of the House of L, Superman, that's crest obviously, as a symbol for hope. And I think he operates in his timeline as the newer Superman. I think that the machine, the Eradicator machine, I think that that is going to play into season two, and I think that's going to maybe create or somehow become maybe a Brainiac or another Kryptonian,
Ooh.
which I think would be crazy for
Yo.
season two. But I do feel like uh Kyle might die just because I feel like he's been working toward trying to redeem himself for being a bad father and husband to Lana and their kids. And I could also see Lois's father dying because I
That's what
feel
I was
like
thinking too.
yeah, because I feel like he's kind of like in a similar situation as Kyle, where he's always done things for like for him, not for himself, but like for the greater good. And I think at some point he's gonna realize, you know what, like the greater, like I've been neglecting my family, so I have to do what I can to make this right. So I think that Kyle's Kyle's in the hot seat. I think that Lois's father's in the hot seat, and I think that we see at least I think we're going to definitely see the death for Morgan Edge and his assistant. I think
Do,
four people are going to possibly die by the end of season one.
do you see season two leading up to where Superman goes to John Iron's Earth to help fight that war?
No, I think that with that they're going to find a way to resolve it like here, like in a big way. So I think that when he gets back to his Earth, he'll be able to resolve it in a similar way. Or he'll be strong enough to deal with it on his own in his own way. I don't know if you
Yeah.
ever watched the whole Dragon Ball Z, but in one of the Dragon Ball Z sagas, like a really long time ago, I'm kind of hopping over here a little bit. There was this one of the main characters' kids from the future. His name was Trunks. His future was pretty much kind of like similar to Jonathan Jeremy Irons, where it was all bleak because this bad guy had come in and kind of taken everybody out, all the good guys. He goes back in time. He helps, the original timeline kind of like resolve their situation. But with everything that he learned in the original timeline, he goes back to his timeline and by himself pretty much just puts an end to the threat. So I
Yeah.
can see it something like where where Jeremy Irons goes, or John Irons. I keep saying I know I'm flipping between John and Jeremy, where John Irons goes, you know what I mean? They build him this steel suit, that's made specifically to deal with kryptonite, to deal with the Kryptonians. He goes into the future, and at this point, they can't really touch him because of where his suit is at, and he just deals with the threat himself and saves his future for him and his daughter, and establishes himself as a symbol of hope, and maybe possibly redeems the Superman of his future. Maybe knowing what they know about the Eradicator, he can go ahead and remove the brain controlling from Superman's mind or whatever it is that they did to him, and then just establish himself as Superman as the protectors of that Earth, which I think would be a really kind of fitting ending to their story. I think he deserves a good ending. I think Steel John Irons deserves a good ending for everything he's been through. So I think it would be nice to kind of see that play out for him.
Yeah. I can see that happening and stuff. So Superman and Lois show is in the Arrowverse, right? So do you think we
Hmm.
can get any appearances from people from the Arrowverse, like the Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman? Do you think anything like that?
I think at some point they'll give us a big team up. I think the last time they did it, and um, I didn't really watch the whole thing, but I watched bits and pieces of it. I think that went pretty well. So I think that it would be cool to see maybe like a pseudo Justice League moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where they team up to fight a big bad guy. Um, whether it's a big Superman bad guy or a big Flash bad guy or
Yeah.
whoever. I think that there's so many different ways that they can go with the story, especially with Superman and kind of like the production and the budget that they have and what they put out. Um, I think that they could definitely do some things. What do you think, though?
I think so. Obviously, the Arrow show it's ended. They ended it. Um, the Flash, I think it's coming to a close end as well. And if like I know this season they're finishing up season 7 of the Flash, and I think that's gonna be either the last season or they might do one more season and then end it from there. I think Supergirl is gonna be coming to. I haven't seen anything new from Supergirl in a while, but that might be coming to a close end as well. And then we
And
have
that,
the
are they in between seasons?
so Supergirl. I have no idea with that. Arrow I know is completely done. Flash is on season 7, and I don't know how that's panning out.
I don't hear
DC
much about the
Legends of
Flash
Tomorrow.
anymore.
Yeah, DC Legends of Tomorrow. I think they ended the show as well. Um, so pretty much we got this new Superman and Lois, and now they're making Batwoman season 2. I think I don't think they're gonna combine. I don't think it would be smart to combine them, getting any appearances and stuff, because I feel like Superman and Lois has been so well by itself that we don't need any appearances from any of the other shows. I think just leave the other shows as like its own universe type vibe, even though it's in the same universe, but leave it like its own series. Like Arrow already teamed up with Flash before, Flash already teamed up with Supergirl, all that. They already teamed up. Just leave it. Like forget about that. That's why we have the Justice League movies and stuff. We don't need that. Just
Yeah,
focus
yeah, that's
on
true. That's
the
true.
character itself and building a series out of him. And I think out of all their shows, I think Superman and Lois, I think it has the highest reviews and is getting the most love. So I can see them continuing this for
It's
a
a great
while.
show, man. Honestly, it's a really good show.
So that's all I say about it. Well, we got a lot we talked about today. We just to recap, we did talk about the new trailer for the Shang-Chi and the Ten Wings. We get to see some of that. We got a couple theories on that and stuff. I would love to see a
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I would love to see a young hero uh team up led into that with Hawkeye's daughter, Miss Marvel, Spider-Man, and all the young characters just teaming up and stuff. Um
Ironheart,
Ironheart.
the Wanda's kids, Wanda and Vision's kids,
Yeah.
that'd be really interesting to see too.
Ironheart is that's that's his Iron Man's daughter, right?
Not his daughter. I think she's and I don't know the full story, but I think that she somehow gets his. Oh, I think she's really smart too, and either comes across the suit or builds her own suit.
Yeah.
And Iron Man kind of gives her his blessing to continue his legacy. So
And one of the Spider-Man TV shows, the one that I told you about that's on Disney Plus, but it was made by Disney XD. Um
hmm
in season 3 we got to see like Ironheart a little bit, cameo of her, but it was like an Avengers Young Heroes protocol, but Spider-Man was not a part of that protocol because Iron Man already felt that he was already a superhero. So it was like for the sidekick. So we got to see Ironheart with like a Hawk sidekick with a Miles Morales.
well, you mentioned that, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I completely forgot about that too. The excuse me, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show also hinted at a replacement Falcon, so we might be able to see that too, like you said, and kind of like a young Avengers team up.
Yeah, and I honestly would love to see that. Like we just see something. It would be something different than what is already been shown. So like if we got
Yeah, I
like
agree. I
Tom
agree.
Holland Spider Man as, I guess, like the Iron Man of them all, like just being the leader, like, and getting things done and stuff. And then even like in Black Panther, his you saw in the, was it Infinity War, where his Black Panther's sister even put
Shuri.
on some, yeah, Sherry put on some gauntlets and started fighting with them and stuff, so she can be part of that as well. So they gave a lot of
She's
little,
rumored to be the new Black Panther, though.
yeah, I heard that too. So we'll see what they come with. Marvel Universe right now is hinting at a lot of stuff. We got a whole bunch of new TV series that they're releasing. We got the Black Widow movie coming up in July.
Like two
Um,
weeks or less than 2 weeks. No, it's like
yeah,
it's like 2 weeks.
we have a Miss Marvel TV show supposedly coming, or a TV show or movie. Hawkeye, the TV show with Clint Barton's daughter. Um, Spider-Man
Loki's
trailer
about
hopefully
halfway
dropping
through.
soon. What'd you say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
So
you off.
Loki's about halfway through too.
Yeah,
So we
Loki.
had a lot of stuff going on. I mean, and we could and Loki, the next few episodes um might really set us up for the multiverse of madness. So
Yeah. Before we end, this we saw that Thor's coming out with a new movie, Thor: Love and Thunder. Um,
hmm
but the last thing we saw in Avengers Endgame, Thor went with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think they
yeah,
make an
I forgot about that.
appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder?
Well, I think it just gonna depends on is Guardians of the Galaxy, does the next Guardians of the Galaxy come up before Thor or after Thor? Because if it comes out before Thor, then we might not see them.
I
But
think,
something has to happen for um, for Thor to get separated from them. I would think
yeah,
because so I think that something I think something has to happen for him for that movie to happen. So I think that whatever happens, we'll see it in one of these movies, maybe hinted at, and then we'll have the separate Thor movie. I think that if the Guardians of the Galaxy do come up in Thor's next movie, it's going to be very brief. It's going to be really at the beginning, and I could
okay,
see them, just getting annoyed with Thor. You know what I mean? Star-Lord getting annoyed with Thor and just kind of kicking him off the ship in mid-space and flying off. Which I think that
yeah,
would be really a fun way to do it. So,
yeah.
what do you think?
Uh, I have a feeling that it's gonna lead up where we're gonna see maybe like a little brief segment, but it's gonna lead up like Thor just being like, cause we saw in Endgame, he's pretty much was like, I don't want to be the king of Asgard no more, and he gave it to Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. Yeah.
So I have a feeling that it's gonna be like Thor in that movie. It's gonna be Thor just being like, hey, you're gonna be the new, like, you're gonna be taking over and stuff, and Thor just coming to help out in that movie, but it's not really gonna mainly focus about him. And then at the end, it's gonna be like the Guardians of the Galaxy picking him up, like in the spaceship and stuff. So
Yeah, I
it's
could see
pretty much
that
gonna be
too, where they
hinting at
kind of
Thor
like,
joining Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, excuse me. I could see that too being a thing where like he kind of like has like a little side mission where he deals with what's going on with in Thor:
Yeah,
Love and Thunder, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy are like, "Yo, you're done, bro. Like, hop back on the ship. Let's go do what we got to do."
yeah.
So,
Um, but a lot of stuff is to come with Marvel, and we got a couple stuff coming with DC and stuff. New animated movie drop, Batman: The Long Halloween on.
I haven't seen
Hopefully
it
soon
yet.
we'll be able to be streamed on HBO Max. It's not on HBO Max yet. It's only able to buy, but part one has been released. Um, and then we got a lot of Marvel stuff coming out that I'm looking forward to, this year. And
Me too. Me too.
uh,
I'm looking. I'm looking for. I don't know. The trailer for the first trailer for the Eternals was beautiful, and I'm looking forward to
yeah,
watching that movie.
same. You know what I miss? You know what's crazy though? When we talking about like when you brought up that when you went to watch the Spider Verse like opening night and stuff, it brought me back to when we
Oh
used to
man,
do our midnight movie nights where we used to pick me up and my brother, and we used to just go to opening shows, watch the movies at midnight. We can't really do that now because of COVID and all this crap. But we used to come and we used to do midnight
we
movie
used to have
nights. We
so much
used to
fun,
watch.
man. Do you remember that?
Yeah, bro. I think our
I
first
think that
movie that we saw together was it Winter Soldier? I think it was Winter
I think it was
Captain
Winter
America Winter
Soldier.
Soldier.
I
We
know
did
we
Batman
saw
versus
Batman
Superman
versus Super. Yep.
because we did the
X
collectible
Men.
cups. We saw
Yeah, I still
all.
have my cup too.
Oh, do you? I don't think I have
Yeah,
mine.
I still have mine. Cameron tried to throw it the other day. And I was like, nope. So
X Men.
X Men, yeah, Age of Apocalypse. No, it was X Men Apocalypse is what it was called.
Yeah,
And then we also did Civil War. We did
and we
those
did
three.
Civil War. Yeah, but we didn't.
That was almost back to back to back when those came out too. So that was a really great time to be
Yeah.
a movie theater fan, junkie, and also be a comic book fan in general.
All I'm saying is if Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings or Spider-Man does not end up in Disney Plus, you will be catching me at a movie theater.
You know what? We're gonna have to do the AMC thing where you
Can
pay a
rent out a
hundred
full
dollars and
theater.
rent out the whole movie theater. Man, that would be
Yeah,
dope too.
like
Have
bro.
the whole movie theater to ourselves.
I'm so down for that. Like, those are the
Can you,
two movies that I'm looking forward to this year out of anything else. So,
eh, I was say, can you imagine if we if we did that just to rent out the whole movie theater for ourselves?
bro, that would be amazing. It would be nice and quiet. You don't have to worry about someone's phone going off or someone putting up their phone and their bright light in your face. Like, it's just nice and quiet, enjoying the movie theater, enjoying the movie, and bro, after the movies, we can just chill, talk, and then just vibe
We could
out.
maybe drop a special J&E Comic Cast episode from the movie theater before the movie starts. That'd be pretty cool.
At the movie theater.
Yeah, and maybe
Yo,
give our
I could
first
do it.
reaction too. You know?
I bring my phone. Yeah, even if we like, they say no, we can probably just do a quick Instagram story of us at the theaters or something. So just keep up with our
Yeah,
social
something. You
media
know,
platforms,
I think
and we'll keep you guys updated on stuff that we're gonna plan on to do and stuff. Um, yeah, and then we'll just keep you guys updated, and we'll bring you guys a next episode next Sunday at 6 p.m. Like I said, it'll be on YouTube and Spotify first. Other platforms take a little bit longer to get posted, but once they're posted and stuff, go and join them. Um, any questions you may have, put them in the comments or message us on
suggestions.
our social media platforms. Our
Make sure you follow
Instagram.
our pages.
Yeah, we both now created Instagram just for this channel. Um, links will both be down below. Twitter and our Instagram. I mainly focus on the Twitter aspect, and I think yeah, you do both, a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Um,
but I'm more Instagram than Twitter. So,
yeah, he's
but
more
I have
Instagram.
over
I'm more
both.
Twitter. So, but we're trying to reply and keep you guys updated on stuff. But I think this was a good episode. I think we're ready to sign off and stuff.
Yeah, guys, we'll definitely catch you guys next week. If you stood here and you've listened and watched us through to the end, we definitely appreciate the love and support that we've already gotten. We hope to continue to going for you guys. Keep your interactions with us. You know, share us with your friends. You know what I mean, and your family. And stay tuned. You know, because we have a lot more stuff planned. We have a lot more stuff going on. Um, there are a lot more things to talk about. But as you guys see, you know, we can talk for forever about everything. You know, um, so just stay tuned, stay on this beautiful ride with us, you know, and let's all take a trip and a journey and see where this takes us. You know, this is for
Yep.
you guys. You know, we're just here, you know, hanging out, talking, and enjoying ourselves with you. So
Yep. And again, our videos are gonna try to stay under an hour. Sometimes, if it's a topic that we feel like that needs to go over that, we will definitely expand on. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have future topics in the process where in the future where we're gonna have to maybe go over that hour. But right now we hit a good 58 minutes, and I think this is a good ending point for us. We got to talk about a lot of stuff, so I think we're ready to sign out. I'm Josiah. This is Emilio.
I'm Emilio.
We'll catch you guys later.
Take it easy, guys. Have a good week. Stay safe.